Exercise A. Meaning from context. Page 112.
Common student concerns. Don't let them worry you. Going to college is a big step, so it's natural to have concerns. Your life is going to change in many ways, and you will face challenges. But you'll be able to deal with most issues if you work hard, get help from others, and look after your health. Some students believe they're not clever enough for college. They feel intimidated by how smart everyone else seems. If you have this feeling, talk to friends and classmates. You'll soon realize that many people think this way. Just remember that if you have been accepted to a college, you're definitely bright enough to be there. In other words, if you believe in yourself and do the work for your classes, you'll be fine. Choosing what to study can also cause stress, but you don't need to choose a major until the end of your second year, so there's plenty of time. And even if you think you know what you'll major in, it's a good idea to check out a variety of classes before you make your final decision. You may really get into something and end up choosing a major you'd never considered before. And if you really can't decide, don't forget that you probably have the option to major in one subject and minor in another.
Listening. Choosing a major. Exercise B. Main ideas. Page 114. And Exercise C. Details. Pages 114 and 115.
Hi, Tanya. Mind if I join you?
Oh, hi, Antonio. No, of course not.
What are you up to?
I'm just sitting here thinking about what to major in next year.
Oh, yeah? I'm still thinking about that too, though it's probably going to be either chemistry or biology.
Biology? I'm jealous. I'd love to choose biology as my major, but it's not really an option for me. I'll probably end up choosing history, like my father.
Why isn't biology an option for you? I mean, when we took Intro to Biology last semester, you knew the answer to pretty much every question the prof asked in class. You really seemed to know what you were doing in the lab, too. And now that I think about it, didn't you get an A on the final exam?
Well, I guess, but it took me a lot of reading and hard work to do that. I enjoyed the class. In fact, it was the most interesting class I've taken. But having to work so hard made me realize that, well, I'm just not bright enough to do science.
You're joking, right? You're like one of the smartest people I know.
Thanks, Antonio. That's nice of you to say. But I just don't think I've got the right kind of brain for science.
Huh. You're actually serious, aren't you? You know what? You should check out this website called sciall.org. That's SCIALL. Actually, I'll just text you the info. The site has loads of videos that I think you might find interesting, so do me a favor and check it out before deciding on your major, okay?
Well, I'm kind of busy, but I guess I could take a look. What kinds of videos are on the site anyway?
There are a bunch of them, but the ones I think are most likely to be useful for you are scientists talking about how they got into science in the first place.
Well, I guess that might be interesting. But isn't it just really bright people talking about, how smart and good at science they are?
No, that's not it at all. Look, the SciAll site was started by the scientist, Mike Gill, as a nonprofit in order to help more students get into science, especially students who don't normally become scientists. And one of the points Gill makes is that everyone can bring something different to science. He says it's good for science that people are different because that means they'll bring in new ways of thinking about things and new ideas. Anyway, Gill didn't plan to become a scientist, but then you know what? Why don't I just play this one part of a video for you? I think I can find it. Here we go.
When I was starting out as a scientist, or as like a science hopeful, this was when I was in college. I actually went to college as a journalism major and then had this crazy field experience that made me want to be a scientist. But I will tell you that when I first started down that path, I was incredibly intimidated. I mean, it was every time I interacted with a scientist, and that included graduate students, not just senior scientists that had been doing it for a long time, but even graduate students intimidated me, man, because they were so on top of their stuff. Like, they really knew what they were talking about. And they talked about things with such confidence, had so much knowledge. And I thought, man, I don't think I'm smart enough for this. That was a concern, for sure, early on. I don't think I'm smart enough.
Huh. He sounds just like me.
I know, right?
Okay, I'm definitely interested. But, well, I mean, can I trust this Mike Gill person? These days, a lot of sites claim to have valuable, relevant info, but they're really just trying to sell something, you know?
No, don't worry. It's totally legit and everything on the site is free. Like I said, the site doesn't make a profit, and Mike Gill's a National Geographic explorer, and he's given a TED Talk. So I think you can trust what he says about science.
All right. That's good to know.
And he's not the only scientist whose videos are on the site. There are others who talk about similar things, like how they got into science, some challenges they had to deal with, that kind of thing.
You know, this sounds more and more interesting. Listen, thanks for the advice, Antonio. I feel more positive about next year already.
Hey, no problem. That's what friends are for, right?
Yeah.
Exercise D. Focused listening. Page 115. Excerpt 1. Items 1 through 3.
Why isn't biology an option for you? I mean, when we took Intro to Biology last semester, you knew the answer to pretty much every question the prof asked in class. You really seemed to know what you were doing in the lab, too. And now that I think about it, didn't you get an A on the final exam?
Excerpt 2. Items 4 and 5.
Okay, I'm definitely interested. But, well, I mean, can I trust this Mike Gill person? These days, a lot of sites claim to have valuable, relevant info, but they're really just trying to sell something, you know?
No, don't worry. It's totally legit and everything on the site is free. Like I said, the site doesn't make a profit, and Mike Gill's a National Geographic explorer, and he's given a TED Talk. So I think you can trust what he says about science.
Exercise A. Model. And Exercise B. Analyze the model. Page 120.
There are several things I'd like to learn. For example, I'd like to be able to cook. And I want to be more effective at speaking English, of course. But my biggest wish is to learn how to play shogi. That's S-H-O-G-I, which is also called Japanese chess. I can see from your faces that some of you don't know what that is, so let me explain. If you know chess, then shogi should be kind of familiar. There are some differences between the two games, though. The shogi board is bigger, for instance, and players have more pieces to move. The biggest difference is that players can use pieces they take from the other player. Any questions so far? No? Okay. I have several reasons for wanting to learn shogi. The first one is that my mother and my sisters are all really good players. My younger sister especially has had a lot of success. She won a prize last year, actually. Anyway, They keep telling me I should get into shogi too. What else? Well, I also want to learn shogi because it's part of Japanese culture and I feel it's important to learn about our own culture. Maybe you feel the same about something from your culture. Finally, I've heard that learning shogi might help me develop my ability to think critically, which is an important skill that is worth learning. I think I'll know I have been successful at learning shogi if I can understand different game techniques and start to win against players at my level. Does anyone have a question?